What's up, y'all? Come on in the room. I am not going to be before you long. I am just leaving the gym. I did not go during lunch because we had that potluck, and so I wasn't able to go. Hey, Deepa, what's up, Haitian Princess? How you doing? You know, people were asking about you. They said they hadn't seen you. I'm like, Haitian Princess is probably doing life. She okay. She'll come around. So I said she probably doing life. So yeah, so I really didn't get to go to the gym. What's up, Hershey? I really didn't get to go to the gym today because we had the potluck. And believe it or not, you all, I only ate half a plate. I didn't even eat the whole plate. What's up, Lady Sparkles? So, but I said I'm going to make it to the gym today. And it's good because on Monday I worked out. I'm not going to work out on Tuesday. Wednesday, I'm going to work out. I'm not going to work out on Thanksgiving, but I will work out maybe that evening on Friday or that Saturday. Because you know it's Black Friday. But y'all, I'm good. I'm even kind of good with Black Friday. We'll see how the spirit lead me, and we'll go on. So you all, what's up? What's up, you all? Y'all coming in? Let me get to the get good. So I rarely go to Lemons, but I was heading to the gym and I was scrolling to see who was on, and Lemon happened to be on, and I'm listening to Octavius, and I'm like, really? I'm listening to what he was saying, and I'm like, he is trying to revise history. He is a history revisionist because I'm like, this stuff he's saying is not all correct. And can I say this too? Trish, girl, you must have been drinking a little bit before you came on because, yeah. So I listened to Octavius, and he's coming from the perspective of Wiley. And that's not the perspective that you come from because Wiley was not a day one. He was not here at the birth of the beef sector. Now, Wiley does play a big part in the beef sector, but he's not at the birth of the beef sector. And let me say this too. Whether I'm famous or lit or that doesn't matter. I'm going back to the history. And I think Octavius got off a little bit on that because he was going who was lit and who he helped and how people got lit. And lit was not the litmus test. Lit was not the goalpost. It was the history. What's up, Bella, and everybody coming in? What's up, Queen? So let me say this, you all. The beef sector history is not concrete. It has layers. James, Treasure Lane, Sean Bradley, Nika, Properly Bonafide, all of those people were doing their thing. I didn't even know about Vegas until it came out. Okay? Then you had people like me who was doing the Housewives review and looking at T.S. Madison. So everybody was doing their own thing. But it was a situation that brought us all together. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was doing their own thing. It was a situation that brought us together. So as we were doing our reviews of the Housewives, Maddie and Kaya came on. So we religiously watched them and did our reviews. Madison and Kaya would look at the reviews and talk about it. They would come over and chit chat and they would talk about us, but people do move on. And just because these people are famous and their channels have grown and all of that, that doesn't mean they were never over in the sector. And just because we weren't calling it the beef sector then, that doesn't mean that we were not bona fide. We had characters, we had people, and the beef sector came about. Now, a lot of people like, you didn't come up with that name. I know I was saying seasons beefings, seasons beefings. I was like beefing for dollars. So I would say that a great deal. But, whoever came up with it, that's my thoughts. Everybody has a thought on that. And so we were uploading, going against each other and all of that. And Tracy, it's really funny that Octavius mentioned that he saw Tracy in the beef sector, but Tracy was a troll. She would come in and she was definitely Team Kaya, and she would say all kind of ugly stuff. And I'm like, who is this? So I wound up blocking her from all of my channels. So, Tracy was a troll before she was a content creator. So, I'm looking at that. And so we just got together and everybody started doing their thing. But what gets me, you all, is I can even take some objection from a content creator who's in the beef sector. But Octavius wasn't even in the beef sector. Octavius was dealing with Wiley and stuff, and I'm like, dude, Wiley isn't even part of the original. Wiley came on later. As a matter of fact, Wiley and Armand came on probably about at the same time. And Armand was coming into the beef sector. And again, I spoke to Armand personally because he thought we were against him and Wiley was doing stuff. And Wiley was trying to not do what was right by Armand. And it was really interesting how they came about in the beef sector. But Wiley wasn't like original. Now, Wiley's been here, but it's not original. So I'm listening to Octavius and I'm like, dude, you weren't even in the sector. And it's not because we getting endorsements of money or anything, but it's just like, and like I told Octavius, it's like you telling Ralph Abernathy, Andrew Young, Jesse Jackson, Fred Shuttlesworth, and all of those guys who were in the civil rights movement about the civil rights movement, and you were just reading about it in a book. I'm like, dude, we didn't even know about a Shish Trish. And what she said was just like, girl, are you sick? And I just think that's the problem. And then the attacks, here come the attacks. And I'm like, dude, you really don't need to do that. So I'm saying all of this, you all, is because if you don't watch it, people will revise stuff. And the people don't even be in the beef sector. They ain't even here. Octavius, then he started fighting with ZX. And can I say this? I'm not going to sit there and argue with ZX about the black sector, the nature boy sector, none of those sectors. You know why? Because I didn't originate over there. I didn't originate over there. So I don't talk about things that I don't know about, or it didn't originate, or I didn't originate in the sector. So that's all I'm saying to Octavius, but you were moving the goalposts. And then y'all didn't catch the slick shade. I wanted to say something, but I'm like, I got to get off because I got to get to the gym. But then they wanted to slick shade the gay boys. And I was going to ask the question is, if y'all don't like gay men so much, then why the hell y'all want to be in this sector? Why do y'all want to be on these platforms? And since y'all are so anti-gay, then why are you here? I didn't get a chance to ask that, but you know, ZX was getting around to it with Octavius saying that you comfortable over here. And I'm like, well, you've been over here for a good minute too. So you must feel comfortable as well. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of slick shade, but I will say this: the beef sector is still alive and kicking. It may not look like what it once looked like, but it's still here. And that's all I'm gonna say. Where others have folded, the beef sector is still here. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But it was really interesting. So I wanted to just say that. And can I say this? I don't watch T.S. Madison. I don't watch Funky Dineva. I mean, you grow and you move on. Now, is Funky Dineva bad? No. Is T.S. Madison bad? No. Is Tasha K bad? No. But I just don't watch them anymore. Not because they're bad people, but between doing what I do on YouTube, being able to look at a little bit, I don't have time to look at anybody else. To be honest, I'm barely looking at the folk over here. So yeah, but somebody was moving the goalposts tonight while they were trying to revise history. So I ain't mad at nobody, but at least be on point. So y'all, that's what I had to say. If you're gonna tell it right. What's up, Kenna? Let me see what y'all saying. They love the gay men. They say they don't, but they do. And let me say this, you all. I am not trying to make straight men gay and all of that. Nobody ain't really trying to do that. That's why they mad. Let me say this. I'm not mad at them. And then people say, well, they don't treat men like that. Well, me, I am a man. I am a man. Now, who I love is different, but my gender hasn't changed because I love a man. And that man loves me. My gender hasn't changed. I'm still a man. Ain't nothing changed about that. Sexuality, but the gender hadn't changed. So when I hear these guys do all of that, I look at them and I'm like, are you serious? And my thing is, I'm not jealous. I love my relationship. And the sad part about it is, if somebody really wanted to go pull a woman, it ain't hard. I mean, yeah, it's not hard. And to be honest, some of these jokers ain't nothing to be jealous of. I just can't understand that if you don't like people, why do you inhabit or try to be around in the spaces that they're in? And I'm not saying you can't be in the spaces, but you vibe for the people's attention. You want to call them out their name, but yet you want to be on their platform for the recognition. And I just look at that. Because one thing about me, I can't speak for anybody else. I didn't go running over the ZX champ. The only time I was even in that sector was during the Queen 88 and Cam situation in Vegas. And that's it. Now, I can't speak for everybody else, but you ain't never see me running over there. What's up, Ron P? So I just want to be very clear. And I have no problem with my sexuality, who I love. I don't have a problem, with you being a man. I'm a man. So I just look at these people, and I know it's a show, but baby, some of these people are very real with it. Some people are very real with it. No, you done brought up. Octavius, you don't have to. But you and your boy were going there today. And if you ain't gay, then why you always have to defend yourself? See, that's the thing, and it's supposed to be a diss. But Octavius, I wish you would get history right. And Octavius, you were very rude. I was very surprised at your demeanor tonight. I was extremely surprised because no one attacked you. The only thing I was saying is that you can't move the goalposts. Nobody cares about the lit portion or you weren't popular. And by the way, I've only had one page. And Rico actually did a porn bomb on that before we really knew what to deal with and how to deal with that. I only had one page, and it would have been at least about 25,000 people. But Octavius, all I'm saying to you is know what you're talking about before you talk. You coming from the vantage point of Wiley, and my thing is Wiley is a small figment of the beef sector. And then you got really kind of angry, your voice was raised up, and I'm like, why are you telling me about something that you weren't even here for? And then you said you came through Tracy. And then I'm like, well, if you came through Tracy, then, she did her first live appearance on camera at my home. So that's what I'm trying to say, Octavius. And you got a vantage point from Wiley, but Wiley wasn't even an original. That's all I'm saying. And then you got all hell, and I'm like, dude, why are you getting upset? And why are you raising your voice? And I'm like, what is going on? That's all. But I'm gonna tell you, if I've never been in the sector, or even if I came in the sector late, I'm gonna be smart enough to just defer to the people who've actually been. And the thing that really got me is I can understand a Spill It Boy or Lady Nika or Shelly or Sean Bradley coming up because they were here. You were. And then like you felt something. And then Octavius, it seems to me that you were really trying to make the thing that you put people on. Okay, great. And then that, where you at now? I'm like, at my career doing what I've been doing. I mean, I'm not trying to be the next biggest thing on YouTube. That's not my desire. I just desire to get my AdSense check in a certain amount, and I'm good with that. But you were really out of pocket today, Octavius. Very much out of pocket tonight. And I'm like, are you all right? Are you going through something? And then you really did start personally attacking people. Instead of talking about the history and what was going on, you really went there tonight. And I was just really bewildered by your demeanor. So I'm just saying. I didn't know Octavius until the Rob Rat Kiki thing. I mean, really. And that's no shade. So all of this stuff he was talking about, I'm like, okay. Yeah, you're right. A line, don't care who told it. And all I was telling Octavius is, at the end of the day, the people who were there know that's the bottom line. Because I saw Wiley, okay, and that's supposed to mean what? It's Wiley, and nothing against Wiley, but yeah. Oh Lord, y'all, I hate traveling this road. It is always traffic. Damn. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna be able to read your stuff in a few minutes. I thought it was very odd. And Lemon was trying to say calm down and it was everybody else except Octavius and I'm like, okay, and I'm just trying to have a conversation. And then, I guess Octavius elevated because he wanted me to elevate, but I'm like, I'm not understanding why you elevate. Hey, Brian. I mean, and I'm like, Nobody ain't talking about numbers because I ain't even know you. Okay, but what I got to do with the history? And I guess he was trying to get a rise, but I didn't come on here to be known. I just came on here to get my money. See, y'all about that fame. I'm about that money. And yeah, I don't want to be YouTube famous like that. But Octavius did start talking about Mona. And I'm like, and that Star Marie interview. And it was like, okay, but Tasha K was already over here way before the Star Marie. And I was like, okay, and then you start threatening to take people's pages. I'm like, oh my God, are we to that point? What are we doing?
What's going on,
Octavius?
What's going on, Jay Wilson? How you doing?
I want to know what's going on with you because you were real out of pocket on Lemons. I just sat back and listened. I'm like,
no, it really wasn't about you. It's like that, like Wes kept poking in, and then ZX got up there, and then yeah. Me and you trying to have a conversation, and they like poking in. They doing them like,
in, but I was like,
but they wasn't coming for you. If it wasn't coming for them, it was coming for me.
I understand, but you said some stuff that I caught. I don't say too many things often, but I'm listening. I'm like, so what does popularity have to do with the history? What does
like I said, everything I said about my experience with that section of the people that became part of the beef sector, like I didn't even know. I followed Sweet Mom from 2018 since they did that story. I knew about Shelly. I was over in Shelly's. I was in her comments.
Okay.
Since that time, you know what I mean. I talked to Shelly about that. I was in her comments. I said, "Oh yeah, I remember you when I got introduced to some of the people over here in the beef sector with Tracy." I said, "Oh yeah, I know Shelly." The first thing I told Tracy, I said, "I know Shelly."
Okay.
And I remember Olivia. No, I'm saying I remember a lot of people that were merged in.
Let me say this though: if I never caused 95 to go to Belvedere, then that doesn't mean that you don't live on the east side in Palm Beach County. You just haven't been on that side.
No, yet. My only point is that there are people that was in the sector that ate off the story and how it came into that space at that time with some of the people that became part of the beef sector. Okay. I always was keeping up with them at some capacity. I wasn't there all the time. I was working a lot.
Okay,
but I would always ever since that.
But the beef sector consists of more than those people you just called.
I never claimed them. I never said I had no origin with VS, Treasure Lane. I made that very clear about that.
What I'm trying to say is, then you really don't have the full picture and the full scope of history from where we stand. You only have that little figment from what you're saying. And that's all I'm saying. But when you really talk on that, like you were talking,
we don't disagree on that
sound
point.
Like a revisionist. That's all I'm saying. And
we don't disagree on that point. That's what you fail to realize. I don't disagree with nothing you said. I would just say from that point of view with those individuals, I saw that part of the internet blow up off of the Star Marie story, the Tasha K, let me just get it out. The Tasha
K. Let's roll back though. You said some stuff that wasn't correct, and so this is where I come in. You said some stuff that wasn't correct. So you coming from the vantage point of Wiley, and I'm like, well, okay, but that's not.
That's the one that still be coming around. Like Sweet Mom don't come around.
But just because they don't come around, that doesn't mean all you had to do was ask me.
I'm not saying that's. I'm just saying that's the one that y'all still talk to that be around here. But as far as other people, they were. I seen them. I said, okay. They was like when they did that thing about the research history. I said, well, I was over there with a lot of those people that were naming. Okay. I was over there with a lot of those people that were naming.
But when you
it was because of Tasha K. I'm saying that it was because of Tasha K.
I got you.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
About the origin, it was more than Tasha K. It was a Kaya.
Yeah, I'm not hating on that part. I said certain people. I didn't say like the whole beef sector I created. No.
Say this: if you tell half a lie, it's all a lie. So my thing is, if you're gonna add it, then make sure you know all of the components and all of the pieces, because it wasn't an easy process even for the beef sector to come together. It came together. It was a perfect storm, to believe it or not. But that's all I'm saying. But I don't speak on Black sector, and I don't speak on Manosphere, because guess what? Even if I went over there, I wasn't there at the evolution. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
But I just showed everybody I was here since 2010 on YouTube.
I mean, were you in the beef sector?
I seen all of them.
But were you in the beef sector?
Well, like I say, they didn't even have sector names back then.
Okay, but that's what we're trying to get to. Were you there?
No, like someone saying that no one's trying to claim a hashtag. Okay, that's not the point. The point I was making with Pizarro, because I guess she wanted to gaslight people, and she rewrote what I said the other night, and y'all fell for it. I mean, she trolled y'all, so that's cool.
I didn't fall for anything, because I just heard what you were saying when I came and I was passing through Lemons, and I'm like, this is some faulty history. Where are you getting this from?
I was just talking from my vantage point, and everything I said. I was doing let me just say my vantage point. But I'm saying, did you see what I've been trying to explain to you? My vantage point. I came to the internet. All right, when I first met Tasha K. We talked on the phone. She was supposed to do an interview with me, because me and Star was tight. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
And then I said, nah, I see how y'all did. I don't want to get on camera and have my life fucked up like y'all did her. She was talking about taking herself out, taking her own, life force, whatever. Around that time, that's why I start coming around these spaces, because it's like, dang, they doing my girl dirty. The only person I seen that seemed like he had any kind of like wit about him and that was decent, the two people, was Amon and Wiley. I saw them together over there, and that's what Tasha K pointed me to. And I went over there and I called in. The call in is still up, where I say, yeah, I'll get you the interview. I'll get to come over here.
All right.
Yeah. So that's how I was introduced to that space. And like I said, when I start interacting, I was a viewer for a long time. I called in, but that's when I started making waves. It was around that time. And the whole thing is I'll start following those people that did storylines on the sector, including Lovely T, Tasha K. I saw them beef. I saw all that. So that was my vantage point. I saw Sweet Ma go through a whole lot of shit. I followed all of that for years. And when I met Tracy, she was like, yeah, Sweet Ma, my baby. I was like, oh, I know. I've been knowing her for, I've been calling her show for years. So the same thing with a lot of people. But I was like, seeing that now people are saying that they were connected. I said, oh, well, I was over there in that space, and I helped them, you know what I'm saying? I saw them, all of them grow from like those interviews and the entertainment stuff that they was doing. And it first started with some of them. It first started with the break with Armand was the Starry story. It's a fact. He had 3,000 subs when I met him. You know what I'm saying?
You do know that was like, the beef sector was way beyond when that stuff happened. As a matter of fact, Tasha,
I get that point. That's not, but I'm saying I'm talking from my point of view. I'm not talking from.
But your point of view is not the historic fact of what we've gone through. So my thing is, I can talk from my point of view of how I feel about certain HBCUs, but that's my vantage point. But if I didn't go there, or it's just that. And what I'm trying to say is that you were saying a lot of stuff that is like, okay, well, you know these people, and that's great. But, you even mentioned Mona. I'm like, Mona was with T.S. Madison. Mona came over here because we were talking about her degrees. And then the next thing you know, she came over here and started The Brain and all of that stuff. And people follow her. I met Mona. But Mona was sitting right on
like I said, and she got that interview with Star. Yeah, she got that interview with Star. She had a pretty decent following back then. I saw all of that. She had a pretty decent following, but then when she got that she started doing that Cardi B stuff with all that. She talked to Cardi on the phone and all that. I was like, and then she was calling herself beefing with Star and all that. I was like, oh, like we saw
like, it too.
This messy.
The beef sector was already there. We saw it. Yeah. I mean, Tasha K came to my platform, and like I said, I'm not trying to be big. I'm good with exactly where I am. But big old Tasha K was in her closet And she came, and I said, "Well, I knew it was over when you said you agreed with that lady, because then when you said that, you messed up your journalistic integrity." I'm like, I didn't agree. How can you live with somebody and do all of this and you don't even remember streets? I lived in New York. I remember all streets and stuff. So it wasn't. And then I said, you know what? Cardi B is a commodity, and the record company ain't gonna have you sitting there slandering that
This is
woman.
before she was famous. They did know each other. They worked in the same strip club. They even got in a fight. I
I'm
used to
sure
talk to
they
Cardi B
did.
on the phone. I used to talk to her on the phone a
I
long
got
time
you.
before she was
But my
famous.
thing is this:
And I
everybody,
already did interviews about that.
I got
There's
you.
interviews I've done
But I'm
about
just
that.
telling you from the beef stack to kind
Yeah.
of view what we said to Tasha K. Were you there when we were talking to Tasha K about the Cardi B situation? Because we had a conversation.
I wasn't like, I followed
Okay,
Tasha K, but like
see
if she
what I'm
went
trying to
certain
say, but
places, I
I'm
saw
making a
her.
point, Octavius. I'm making a point.
Okay.
I'm making a
Yeah.
point. The point is, no, you were not there. So I get
Okay,
what you're
but
saying,
that's cool.
but you are
That's
coming
cool.
as a revisionist, and that's a problem. And like I said, I ain't get nothing. I don't get a badge for being in the B sector, but it's like, wow, I didn't even know you until Rob Rat Kiki. Not to say that that's a bad thing,
Why did Tulsa dox me in 2021?
but that's you in Tulsa. We didn't even know Tulsa until later
Okay,
on.
but because I was in a whole nother sector, I was being wrote
Okay.
about, and the channel was being wrote
I
about
get
in New
you,
York
but we talking
Times
about- we talking
because
about
it was talking entertainment after the Cardi
But I
B
get
verdict.
you, but we're talking about the beef sector.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the whole thing. I had in a whole nother space of where I was on. Sean
got
Davey did live streams on me back then.
Okay,
You know
and
what I mean?
I'm not mad at you, but you didn't know me and Treasure, we didn't know you because you weren't.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I respect that point. I didn't throw y'all names in it, but that's what I'm saying. I did throw. I'd be like, okay, if I say I knew Sean Bradley,
you really
I
came back.
probably.
But if you would listen to yourself, and the only reason I clicked the link is I'm like, was he here? Was he a content creator with us? I don't remember him doing uploads.
No, I was doing interviews, bro. That's what I'm saying. I was doing interviews. That was it. I was doing interviews, and I followed those people.
I really don't speak heavily on it. I remember Clyde Diva and stuff, but I don't speak on the history. I only know Clyde Diva from when I interacted with Clyde Diva and Suge and those people. But guess what? It was actually over here. So I'm just saying. And then you argued me down. I'm like, dude, I was here. I was here for the evolution of this. And I'm not going against you, but you said a lot of stuff that I'm like, you act like you was
okay, but what you're not see, okay, 2 plus 2 equals 4, right? So, or 1 plus 1 equals 2. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying if you got it where these people added themselves to your group of people, they equaled 2. Okay, 1 plus 1 equals 2. I'm saying when it came down to that one part of the 2, I was over there having some form of influence in that space for a short period of time, for about a year. Okay, and then I was watching, and when y'all made the addition, I didn't even know the addition happened. Like I didn't. I just watched it from the clouds, and sometimes I would call in. If I see like Sweet Ma going through some shit, I might hit the link or call in or say something, and other people like that. But that was it. But I didn't know the other side, whoever she was beefing with.
That's the whole thing, and that's the biggest thing because Octavius, you said a lot of stuff, and I'm like, that ain't right. That's not correct.
I mean, but Jay Wilson, he be saying, I'm like, homophobia. Like I didn't say nothing homophobic.
I do think you all are, and see, you don't have to say some things indirectly. And come on, Octavius, I'm from the same state. I done grew up in church. I get it. And
my experience is
I've heard you say some stuff, and I'm like, ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's dragging. I mean, like the people like it's dragging. It's a dark comedy space. This whole thing. It's people say what hurts. People say what hurts in these spaces.
I know, but it's like okay, say what they really mean.
I mean, my whole thing is with that, right? I'm not okay. Like, damn, I'm a part of some hate group against people and what they doing in their bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But if if like just like if you say, okay, you live here and you got this going on, you're gonna go for whatever you can make out of it. You know what I'm saying? If you know a little bit of what you call tea on me, you're gonna maximize. You add some more some more water, some lemons, or whatever to it. All right. So that's what that is.
But how many of us have come to your spaces and started shit with you all? Because if I'm not mistaken,
what you mean? I've been squatted by. I had people call the police on me. I've been doxxed in the B sector.
Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna get specific.
Okay.
So did Sean Bradley dox you?
No, Tracy did. A whole bunch of people over there did. A whole bunch of people doxed me. Ken doxed me a million times.
Oh, no. Tracy ain't a gay man. Tracy ain't a gay man. Did Treasure Lane dox you?
I ain't had no problem with him.
Okay, did QB dox you?
No.
Okay, what gay man actually doxed you?
Okay, well, I just said to you, Jay Wilson, I'm not here politicking and hating on no gay man.
I'm making a point, Octavius.
Yeah.
I'm making a point.
But I'm not hating on no gay man on here. I'm not.
No. Listen to my point, Octavius. I'm making a point. I'm trying to be real calm. I'm trying to have a conversation. I'm trying to make a point.
All right, I'm listening.
We don't go over and attack y'all. And I'm talking in general. But I have seen people from Manosphere, the black sector, to all these sectors come over and do some stuff. Why do I have a beef with you sometimes, Octavius? What throws me and you together where we have to have words like that? Because I never really attacked you. I really didn't even know you.
I don't know how that beef started 3 years ago. I felt like I was responding to whatever, you know, like that. Like, okay, I had Kimmy going live on me. I had you going live on me. I had Tracy going live on me. I had Quan going live on me. I had a whole, because I was just with Kiki. That's how I looked at it.
No. It was even before Kiki, because it was a Rob Rack situation before Kiki. Am I correct?
I don't know. Maybe so. I know I got an interview with you after the Rob went to jail.
I had a problem with you and Vic because if I lastly remember, Rob had a phone in his hand. Police was telling him to put the phone down or to get down on the ground rather. And you and Vic was like, let them know that you got all these people out here. And I'm like, are you crazy? In California, the man people got unalive for much less. And y'all saying that, and I said, y'all really here for that click and view. And I think I said something to that extent because I really didn't know you. Now I didn't dox you. I remember Tracy, but at one point in time, you and Tracy were real cool.
Right.
I mean, at one point in time, I'm just saying it just really is interesting because I look at the whole dynamic. Because most of the people didn't become missionaries and go to get other people from other sectors to the B sectors. I'm not mistaken. We had, people like your boy Lemon and your girl Brianna and some more people who were missionaries and brought people on over to the B sector and they thought it was cool for people to attack the boys over here, but then they got their turn, and then we were supposed to protect them.
Let me be very honest. You're the first gay man in the B. I was over there with Tracy for about almost a year and a half. He was the first gay man channel I ever went to. Only places I went around that time in 2021 and 2022 was Tracy and Kimmy and Kwani. That's the only places I would drop down in. Oh, and Nicole Reloaded, as you remember that. Nicole Reloaded and Dory. Dory, I actually knew Dory. Dory was sharing my live a long time ago with her old channel.
Dory's a Johnny come lately to the beef sector. She definitely.
No, I'm saying those are the people that I interacted with. So they was mixing themselves over there in the black sector, and I was over there with MU. I was on MU's channel, and we were talking about sobriety. And what happened was, when she had 8 people in the chat, Tracy and Kimmy was over there. Then all of a sudden, the chat just started going up. I didn't know where these people came from like that. I just remember Tracy first dropping down and Kimmy first dropping down.
Yeah.
After that, it was all she wrote.
The difference between and the people who actually weren't beef sector but became a part of it and were accepted, they sat back and watched and learned history. They really did. So like Simply Trey and some other people who came along, they really watched. And most of the people who became beef sector were either subscribers or mods, and then they did what they needed to do. But yeah, and so, you know, we were always accepting of people, but it was a tight alliance. You don't attack folk like that. We'll fight each other, but we ain't gonna allow other folk to do that. It's just a recent phenomenon that we have folk coming in, and so I don't think it was so much of a merger. It was like people knew the rules of engagement and how we operated in the beef sector. And I think now that the people who were new that came in, that wasn't their agenda. They were bought it.
By that time that merger happened with the black sector. Now, when that merger happened with the black sector, at least from my standpoint, right? Everybody was talking about MU and her drama with Don Cato, Snoop, and all that. It was hot. She would go live and had like 850 people, and Tommy dropped down a few times over there. All of that. So it was lit over there. You know what I'm saying? So how the black sector merged, it had a lot to do. It had a lot to do with MU. It really did. And so next thing you know, we all kind of that's why I first saw Pizarro drop down on MU, Brianna, TMO, a lot of them, all of them, Dovies and all of them. That started coming over there. I wasn't like we was going. It's like, okay, let's go and seek everybody out or whatever. And then we got to know each other. You know what I'm saying? Got to know each other. And then it's like people got familiar. You know what I'm saying? But I have to give it to Tracy and MU.
The gay boys didn't really go over there. We just
that's what I'm saying. I didn't really see y'all over there.
We don't go where we're not tolerated or appreciated. So yeah, we really didn't go over. But it was interesting because when you look at even the entertainment aspect of it now, you know, we hold the ball for the most part. So it's interesting. I'm just listening though.
No, but I'm saying, but that explains what I'm saying. You were the first. You were the first gay man that channel I started coming to, and I got interviewed by around that time Rob with the jail. That was after that. And it wasn't like I was trying to be biased, like you say. The gay men you didn't see Brian, you didn't see a lot of none of them went over on MU's channel. Like I don't remember really no gay man from B sector.
But this is what we always talk about. Because we had missionaries to go on over there and do the work.
Missionaries.
So that's what they did, because the gay men weren't going, because we were satisfied. We had our own thing. We had enough drama over here, and it was very lucrative. The beef sector was very lucrative, and so a lot of people saw that.
They said that the beef sector and black sector merger was because of ZX, or was it MU?
Well, first of all, who did you merge with? Y'all never merged with me. You never merged with Trezor. You never merged with Sean Bradley. So who did you merge with? You merged with beef sector adjacent.
Listen, okay, that's cool. But what I would say, as far as like how even when I was in the black sector, I was fighting all them niggas over there. I was with everybody over there, so I wasn't even really like I was part of that shit, but I wasn't part of that shit. Still to this day.
But look who you were fighting against. See, it's just really funny, and it just goes to show. And like I said, I don't have a problem with straight brothers or heterosexual. I don't have a problem, but I do observe. I do observe how people came over. I do observe how folk were attacking and came over, and people would kiki in and the women were just all that, and then the next thing you know, those same women were getting attacked. I just thought it was really interesting, especially with the Rob Rack situation. I'm like, all they want is attention. They don't really like you. They like your numbers. They like your attention, and they're gonna make you look stupid. And
now,
so when
you was over there hitting links over on Rob channel. Now that's you was over there now.
When was I over there? Wrestling?
I had that live stream on my channel where you were over there on that link with Rob.
Oh yeah, because Tracy was in danger, because I knew somebody had found their hotel room. Oh yeah, not because of XYZ. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he put his hands on her breast. I'm like, girl, he making you look stupid. He's trying to make the women over here look really dumb. So yeah, you may have that, but not because I was so like, oh, enamored with Rob Rack. I thought he was a drunk and a loser. I'm like, I don't know why you going out there to see him in the first place. But we had forewarned our folk about that. And it was so evident with the Cola Nick thing and how he was doing what he was doing. And some of us really click on and observe. Yeah. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So you may be right, but it was really the defense of her. And unfortunately, she didn't tell me the whole truth because she was acting like everything was okay to save face, but it wasn't okay. And we found out about that later on. So yeah, you're right. So if I was over there, it was because of that. But no, I didn't even know who a Rob Rack was until the Tracy situation.
Well, that's how I got familiar with who you was.
Mm-hmm.
Were you popped up over there?
Oh yeah,
I didn't see that. I didn't see none of the other gay men pop up in that space. And you right, I didn't see none of the gay men from the B sector pop up over there. It wasn't like nobody was trying to avoid nobody. I was over there with MU and all that drama that was going on with MU. Her going through her addiction struggles and Snoop and stuff and all that black sector stuff, and then people calling police and everything like that. So that's how I got for myself familiar with the current beef sector around that time.
Even with the MU stuff, I don't know that history because again, that was not my sector, so I really can't speak upon stuff that I really was not there for the evolution of. And that's all I'm saying. If you're not there for the evolution, then you really got to figure out the research and say, okay, is this quite right? Because people could give you some information, but that's from their vantage point of joining the sector and not being here from the beginning and the outset of the sector. I mean, Duchess Kelly Love was here for the outset of the sector. Sean Bradley was here for the outset of the. It's a lot of gay men who were here for the outset of that, and a lot of lesbian women and a lot of straight. Not too many.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, like I said, my thing is what that is. What I did, like one of the things I started noticing when I started coming to YouTube, especially entertainment spaces, the comedy spaces, it was a lot of the men that were here were gay or openly gay. A lot of them. That was something that I accepted. I didn't have no problem with. Even when I started moving around the entertainment spaces. And like for me and Star at the time, Armand and Wally were like the only ones that wasn't being shady and trying to take sides as much and let us get our shit off. You know what I'm saying? So I had respect for him at that time. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of respect for Armand for that because
Armand
he was being
had a
fair.
lot of respect for Wally until he turned on Armand, and that's why Armand left him. I mean, like I said, we had conversation.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but most of your entertainers and a lot of your athletes are gay. So it is what it is. No slight, but it's known. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking with somebody else. I think Mr. Carruthers was on. But I was just saying, like, being, it's just like, okay, you live a life as a gay man, you could have the oblivion of not knowing or the ignorance of not knowing what it's like to live with a woman and dealing with a woman and her moody issues and whatever.
Untrue. Because again, you put gay men in that category. I had pussy in Florida. I had never had that. Never had an issue. See, again,
well, some gay men. Hold
on for a minute though.
Don't.
Again, it's me saying all heterosexual men. I don't know all heterosexual men. You don't know all gay men. You don't know who slept with who and who could get who. I could pull anybody who I wanted to. So again, that's incorrect. So you might need to be talking.
I'm saying,
like,
okay,
hold on for a minute, I'm trying to make a point here. There are some guys who ain't never seen the part of a vagina and don't want to.
Right.
But there are some who done had kids and all of the stuff. So again, you can't paint everybody with one brush. All
Well,
right, go ahead.
that ain't my point. I'm saying there's like some people that can have oblivion to how somebody else is living, like how they live and what they ins and outs and what they deal with on a daily basis. Like I said, I was telling Mr. Carruthers, he said he met somebody that was a transgender in 1970 or something like that. Somebody tricked him or whatever, or something like that. I said, I was 19 when I first found out that women use dildos and strap-ons on each other, lesbians, and there was a such thing as transgenders. I didn't even know. And I wasn't even trying to be funny or I'm Mr. Super Straight, but a lot of times, like, people are not like, okay, it's because they ain't got to deal with it, ain't they plight. It's just like living as a Palestinian. We don't know what it's like to be a Palestinian in Israel.
You just didn't realize that, hell, you live in Palm Beach County. Hell, it's all there. It's all in Palm Beach County.
Yeah, but I'm saying ain't nobody like, okay, yeah, damn. I would say somebody that's constantly worried about niggas being gay or whatever. I would say they are trying. It's overly consumed. You're overly consumed with something that maybe you fighting. I would be the first to say that.
I'm just saying, you went to Bethune-Cookman. Like, hell, it's not gay folk there. I mean, not to say that.
They got a dorm called La Fever. They call it another word, F word. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say this though? Those are, but see, when it's visible, but it's the places where it's not visible that it really goes on. Like the athletes' dorms, that's where it went on for the most part. And I'm gonna go there again. That's another thing, because you can visibly see it, and you think that it's no other place. But those athletes' dorms are notorious for that.
Yeah.
But again, when you don't know those spaces, but when you've dealt with all spaces, you privy to what goes on. But I just think,
and I also would say a lot of these men that do come over here that don't turn their camera on and don't want to be known, they trolling. A lot of them, they know that it's a large population of gay people or people that's in the community that can spot them and say, oh yeah, I know him. You know what I'm saying? He can easily be outed. So that might be even one of the reasons why a lot of dudes don't interact. Like with me, it's business. I'm not worried about where the nose goes when the nose is closed. As far as your part, like what you do in your bedroom, and things like that.
Damn old. I don't give a damn about what anybody. I'm a senior citizen, so I don't.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not sitting there like focusing, like, oh, like damn. Whatever. Now, if we get the dragon and you going in my life and in my relationship, shit, you know what I mean? I'm okay. I don't care about you being gay. I don't care about nothing. I'm gonna talk about your mama or anybody that's dying or deceased. And then, like, I have my own moral code. But it's entertainment from that point on. And I'm not like, oh, I hate this nigga because he's this way. I don't care. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying?
It's interesting. I'm just saying. I just see stuff, Octavius, and I think I just think you observe things and you see things, and it's just really interesting. That's all. And it's not a big issue with me. I just see stuff, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But I always
had this type of conversation up there, but see how we can flow without people like jabbing. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to like get my thought out. What I was just saying, I said, 1 + 1 = 2. I realized that now it's a 2. Now there may have been one part of that 1 that is older, which I would say that's what you're saying, and it was already in the same vein of thought, in the alpha state vein of thought of what the B sector would become. You know what I'm saying? But I was just saying that other one that got added on, I would just say I had some influence in that space. And it's appearance, and I didn't lie about that at all.
No, you didn't. But like I said, everybody has some influence at one point or another. And like I said, even the Star Marie interview, Mona didn't do it and Lovely T didn't touch it because there were some things that were not all consistent, and they wanted to make sure that it was.
Lovely T is the reason why that story became a thing. You know that, right? Lovely T went to Star Marie's Instagram and ripped that video from her Instagram and posted it on her channel and got 500,000 views. And she said, this lady says she know Cardi B. And then the video went viral. The video went viral. That's how that, and then we were, me and her wasn't on good terms at the time. And then, they start doing all these threats against her life and all kinds of stuff, and she already suffered from PTSD for being a military veteran. So that's why I actually stepped in and be like, okay, like she freaking out, talking about she's gonna end her life and all that. So that's how I end up stop coming around talking to these people. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I end up even talking to Tasha K because of that. You know, and finding out about that space.
Yeah, I just get that, but the history part, and let me say this, all parts of the beef sector was great. I mean, that's the part that some people like. Some people like, it is what it is. The beef sector, let me say this too. And one thing about the beef sector is the beef sector will always move on. I tell people, you all that one and you go about 2 days and you'll be forgotten because that's the beef sector. The beef sector moves on. It waits for nobody. So that's why I'm not like, I'm a part and the OG thing is great, but let me leave for a week and see what happens.
So there are a lot of people Trish saying that you ain't part of this. You wasn't part of the sector. Now they somebody try to pull your card. I was under fire.
Anybody talking about see that and all that.
Oh, you breaking up. You breaking up. I don't know if that's me.
Because I'm coming into my garage.
Okay. We didn't hear what you said the last few minutes.
I don't deal with Trish like that. She's a troll with a big wig, and that's all I'll say about that. But I don't pay attention to Trish.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I totally get it because she told me that she came from Amon first personally. Oh yeah, I remember you. I was Amon's moderator, and I'm like, they didn't even have live chats then, but I just let her tell the lie. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody was a moderator. Everybody would do it. And it's like, okay, but I don't remember seeing you. Who are you again? Everybody is something. Everybody's something. Now, people will remember. That's the difference between me and them. Well, so that's why I was laughing when they was doing that the thing. I said I saw Wally up there and they was talking. I said, "Oh, that nigga," you know what I'm saying? I was like, "Oh," and then I remember Trish talking about, "Oh yeah," I was like, "I'm gonna be honest." Trish came on. Maybe she was somebody else's subby, and she was a faithful subby. I don't really remember her until later on, but I don't let people like Trish. She didn't pull no cards. She just got some attention that she wanted, and I hope it worked out for her. But yeah, it is what it is. Now let me say this though: everybody came in at different phases and points. So everybody's story adds to the tapestry of the beef sector. It was really funny because we was on the cruise and I was asking people, so how did you get into the beef sector or came on? And some people came through Five, some people came through XYZ, a lot of people came through a lot of people. So my thing is, it just goes to show you, a lot of people came to the beef sector and it just together like that. But I always question people when, let me tell you something, if you don't add Tasha K, if you don't add, and Armand Wiggins was like everybody else starting. So he wasn't like the Tasha K or the T.S. But we know that there was some. T.S. Madison didn't start the beef sector, but what T.S. Madison did, and because of something, that's how.
Like he went out. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear you now? Yeah, went out. Yeah, you back now? Yeah.
So there were a lot.
You were saying T.S. Madison didn't start the beef sector. That's what you said.
No, she didn't. But everybody was actually at her space. That's how a lot of us got.
That's what I was saying tonight. I was like, everybody called in. Everybody like everybody down south was watching that.
But I'll tell you, that's one part. But Sean Bradley, Properly Bonafide, who was a big thing at that time, and Lady Nika, they had their thing. When the Vegas Gate thing broke, that was some time back. Shelley was around then. but everybody came to the beef sector from their own places and got together. So again, people were coming from different areas. Now, Alexander Rogers and Justin Jay and all of those people, they were at that time, and so again, everybody kind of knew those people, but I can't say Alexander Rogers was part of the beef sector. I can't say Justin Jay was part of the beef sector, but they had a big influence. But the people who I just called were in the beef sector. Those people were doing those uploads and going at each other and doing those things. And you see those
Yeah.
people doing those uploads, and that's what it is, and that's all I'm saying. And a lot of the people that you were mentioning, they weren't here during that time. They were not here during that time. And I just take issue with people who were saying, well, I was here. I was, no. Heidi Fly and VS started fighting. And then she said VS was da-da-da. No, we got a whiff of VS during the Larry Nelson situation. And that's when she really became prominent. Not to say that she wasn't here, but again, she wasn't here at the beginning. She probably knew some stuff, but who clicked on the camera? Just because you were a subscriber or you were watching, you really weren't a content creator until you clicked on that camera. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not mad at these people. And VS was here for a long time. She's definitely a veteran. So
Oh yeah. The people names I didn't call, I didn't want to disrespect nobody that.
And I'm not
like that.
disrespecting anybody either. But it's a lot of people who will be checked. What's her name? Not Sweet Ma, but what was the lady name who about to fight Heidi at the mall, the Lenox Mall? So I can't even think of her name. Nayrod. That's another person. Nayrod was.
I think I remember that person.
Yeah, Nayrod was doing her thing. So it was a lot of people who are here that are no longer here. Miss Gina. It's a lot of people. So, but
yeah, Hollywood Unlocked. I remember her. Black Hollywood Unlocked. I think that was her channel name.
I just think I came up because I heard some stuff, and I'm like, what is that really? And I'm not here to challenge to say that you don't have any relevance in the sector. It was just some things that I heard. I'm like, no, Wiley, what? I'm like, Wiley.
It was kind of twisted.
Wiley came in
what I said. Yeah, what I said was kind of twisted. You know what I mean? Pizarro. She been feeling some kind of way. I don't know, but it's all good. I think she gaslight the people. You know what I mean? That's why when somebody told me that last night, they were saying something. I was like, I didn't even do a live on it. Because I could have did it on my channel, but I was like, they said, oh, that's why he did it, because he's trying to cow chase or whatever. That's what they do.
Well, like I said, I don't know about that, but I just came up because it just didn't sound quite right. I'm not trying to take away you being here and knowing some things, and about the Star Marie situation. Yeah, it was big. It was big because we knew somebody was going to get sued, regardless of what. We knew somebody was getting ready to get sued. I said it. I always had that thing that I'm a pre-profit, not a post-profit, because I said it. I said, is Tasha K going to get sued? Because when you have gotten from objectivity and say, I know that you telling the truth, or I know you ain't lying, then, okay, now you don't put yourself in some trouble, because
do you know why she didn't sue Star though? You know why Cardi didn't sue Star?
Why?
And I got the clip on my channel. Cardi said that crackhead bitch, and yeah, I kicked that bitch in the fucking head. I got it. Nick at Night got the shit, and I asked Nick at Night, can I play it on my channel, and we played it on the channel.
Can you imagine? Yeah. I wasn't really concerned about Star. It was the Tasha K thing that I thought Tasha K was going to get sued, and that's exactly what happened, as we called it.
She took it too far because she started talking about the baby wasn't hers and all that.
Yeah, but I'm going to say this. At the end of the day, I don't have a problem with Star. It was just she couldn't remember some stuff, and I'm like, look.
She's a veteran. What happened to her? He was over in was it Desert Storm? Basically after 9/11, she was over there in Iraq. She's tiny. She's like 5'8", 152. The Jeep they was in exploded. All of her people that she was with in the Jeep, they became like hamburger meat. And because she was so tiny, the bomb ejected her out of the Jeep. And so that's how she get 100% disability from the U.S. military, because she got PTSD. So
I
it
got
wasn't.
that, Octavius, but you know every piece of this lady pussy. You know every crack cheek of her booty, but you don't
Oh
know the street
God!
that y'all live on. I mean, see, that don't make no sense to me, because
You
if
mean I
you
don't know
do
the street
that,
she
then
live on?
yeah.
What you talking about? She met my father.
No. I'm talking about Star. I'm talking about
Yeah,
places.
Star been in my house. What you
Okay,
talking
but
about?
what I'm
Said,
saying, I'm
yeah.
not talking about you. I'm talking about her in the New York situation. And as a person who lived in New York, I'm like, I'm not from New York, but I remember that I lived on Metro and Lefferts, and it's certain things that you don't
But it
forget.
was cleared up. If you could, if for those that want to research it, you can go look up. It's
A
Cardi
done
B's
deal.
friend. It's a Cardi B friend named Spotlight. That's when those girls jumped there in the strip club, and Cardi B was part of that shit.
Okay, well,
You know
let
what
me
I'm
say this:
saying?
it's
Yeah,
a done deal now. It's water under the
yeah.
bridge. It's just the beefsteak, the situation. To be honest, that I was more like, no, that ain't quite right. So, and I get you, and I'm not trying to say that you didn't put nobody on and all of that. I'm not saying that. It's just, some stuff that was said, and I'm like, that ain't quite right. So that's all I'm
Well,
coming from.
when we first talked, I said with Conscious TV, he hit me up in the inbox because I was in the conscious community, and that got one community, Oda Block. I used to be his co-host over there, and
Hmm.
he knew Conscious TV. I didn't know who he was or where he came from. You know what I'm saying?
So he didn't come from
And
the beef sector.
yeah, but the thing is, me and him had a fallout, and then I went to his channel and we made up. We did we did everything cool, whatever. And then when the second time around, I was the one that got him the interview with Star. That's that last time. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
In the chamber section. So
Okay.
it like that's how like went down. And like when I started my channel, he was the first one to share my link, a first big content creator to share my link, and I got about 600 subscribers in one day from him.
Okay.
So yeah. So my thing is I do business with whoever,
Mhm.
and I learned back in 2018 that you know what I'm saying, like we was looking for just somebody to be fair and let her get a story out, and Armand was the one that facilitated that.
Okay.
And I had respect for him after that. You know what I'm saying? So I learned to respect certain people no matter what their walk of life is.
Mhm. I
That some
respect
people,
that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's all I'm saying. The Conscious TV came around. He was very cool. He let me get it off. He let Star get it off, and it was a great thing for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I have no hate towards nobody.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
But on
mean,
that,
my biggest thing
uh,
was the history. I mean, I'm not doubting that, but I'm like, certain things didn't sound right to me. And I'm like, well, I was there. I was at the evolution of the place. And then when you said that, well, I didn't know this and this and the third, I didn't know you the trees. And I'm like, well, then you missed a whole lot of history, because a lot of those people who you didn't know contributed a great deal. And nobody's trying to say that your contribution to the interview didn't hit, but the beef sector was fine, period. I mean, and I
okay,
think, and hold
let me
on, I
present.
think people,
Go
hold
ahead.
on for a minute, Octavius. I think people think that we're looking to hit it big over here. Most of us have careers, and we ain't trying to do nothing but make an extra little coin and do that. We ain't trying to be famous. I mean, it is what it is. Now, if it hits, that's great, but nobody ain't stressing that. You know what I'm saying? Some people
Yeah.
do. That's why we were looking at Rob Rack like, are you serious? You trying to go viral, but you going to jail. And see, most of us ain't trying to do that.
Oh
Not
yeah, I
all,
totally get
but
that.
most of us, yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that. I totally get that. But like I was trying to say about with Tracy though, it's like when I used to go to Tracy or Kimmy's chat way back, and then I heard them talk about Brooks baby. I didn't know who the hell Brooke was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, didn't go look for Brooke. All I heard was Tracy going in on this lady named Brooke. Didn't know nothing about the shit. Didn't look for the lady. Nothing. And so, like, what far as the other people, when I did check into their channels throughout the years, yeah, they may be calling y'all name and things like that, but like, I didn't know, like, okay, well, shit, like, when Sweet Ma going talking about somebody, I didn't like, okay, well, shit, let's go to their channel and click the link and all that shit. I just knew the people I knew, and I just heard what they had to say about the person that's fucking with them, or that's it. You feel me? So it was the same thing when it came
here very shortly because once you got down, he was out.
Yeah. I've seen the people playing with a kid and all that.
My like that I knew of her, but I know that and again, even with some of those people, they were not. The beef sector was very interesting, and it's like a city core and suburbs on the outside, man. And that's how it was. Because some of these people we knew by name, but we really didn't know them.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, I'm hearing names. I probably heard people names being thrown around that's over here now, but I didn't care to go look for the people they were dragging. That's all I'm saying.
Somebody said, "Can you tell us what you?" Oh, come on, Queen. Oh Lord.
I guess she's talking to you.
No.
Oh no, damn.
Can you tell us what you smell like?
Nah, bro, I'm good.
I'm just saying that ain't me. I don't get them.
We ever heard the term? We all got that, and it all stank. I'm pretty sure at some point of the day it's gonna stink, and that's why we got water. That's why we got soap, and we got to do that on a regular, at least twice a day. Okay?
So, Octavius, what are you doing now? You were very popular with the Kiki situation. So now the Kiki situation has died out. So what is your new thing? What are you doing these days?
I've been doing good. Shit, my last live got what 2,400 views, and like
which sector was it in?
Latrice Allen sector. I move around.
Okay, I don't know her. Okay,
you don't know Latrice Allen?
I mean, no. I'll stay in my.
Well, Latrice Allen started off in the ghetto. She had a bunch of kids, and she started going live vlogging about project life, basically. And then she was like a comedian or whatever. And she went from being dirt poor to becoming like a millionaire, vlogging. Okay. And then people started building up their channels, dragging her ass. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so the people that I rock with, they are pro Latrice Allen, you know what I mean? And the other side, they are anti Latrice Allen. And that's a very picky sector.
Oh, it sounds like when the beef sector started with the Kaya and T.S. Madison thing. See how that evolved? So you might have been there.
But what they don't do panels like that. Like Shamar's like the only person I see that's over there that does a panel, but the females over there, they is
what does he do a panel?
Pretty much you just gotta do a solo live. They expect you to do a solo live, and you gotta be thorough about your paperwork, your receipts, and everything like that. Okay. And that's and you gotta do your own dragging. What's that?
What is this panels about, Shamar?
Shamar is kind of merging himself into the beef sector, though, to be honest about it.
Oh, okay then. Okay, because he did a panel and he took a page from the gentleman's panel. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's an openly gay man, and they don't say to him at all. And I think he feel more at home in this space, in the beef sector. You know what I'm saying?
People are everywhere. Even
but I'm saying like he's finding like okay. He got commonality as far as his lifestyle, things like that. And Lemon, Shakim, and I ain't saying nothing about ain't shading Lemon or nothing, but I'm saying, and I ain't talking about nobody what they do, but Shakim, Lemon, and a lot of them, they've been over there, Honest Road been over there, so they've been going over there heavy to his channel. So
yeah, Shamar's been over here, and every once in a while I'll go support him because he comes in correct. He comes in correct. Yeah, and most people.
But it seems like their sector is like it's like a bunch of Kimmies over there or Treacy's. It's like they just do solo live streams. They don't drop no link. They do the long form for the most part, and you just go for what they know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but Shamar may want to be in a place where people just do them, and so yeah, I get it. But yeah, but why so many
yeah.
straight men over here in the beef sector knowing all these gay men over here, and then they try to click on the gay men page, but then be real homophobic? I don't get that. I don't get that.
Well, like, um, well, my thing is, I told Envy, and this is the weird thing about Envy, right? I told Envy, I said, Envy, okay, everybody know how I started coming back around, well, coming into the space. It was Tracy and MU and a few others. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then the Rock Rex story, a lot of B sector people because it involved Tracy was coming to my chat or whatever. Then I
Mhm.
started dating someone that was in the B sector. You know what I'm saying? Kiki. And it
TCU
was
is interesting, very interesting. Go ahead.
yeah. So he was trying to say, how do you end up over here and all this kind of stuff? I was like, well, everybody know how I end up over here, but I said, well, like with you, I said, you're over here in, this, I tell guys, I said, this is a gay space. I've done a live talk about the B sector. It is a gay space. It's a gay centered cultural black space. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I will not, I will not take that away. I said, now, there are guys over here, their girlfriends or some of their female friends are over here and they support them or whatnot. And sometimes you get caught up in the mess along with your girlfriend. And that's kind of what happened with me and Kiki. Because I didn't intend for nothing to go sour with nobody when that happened with Kiki and me. Um, but it did. But like guys just popping up, in this space, you know, yeah, it's going to be questioned. I mean, it's going to be questioned. Like,
Well, I just
yeah,
I just think it's very interesting because, like I
yeah,
said, I always bring up the situation that a lot of our gay men don't go to spaces where we just don't, and I just find it really odd sometimes that like people will be infuriated if they don't get on my panel, and I'm like, well, first of all, why should I allow you in my space or give you access to me? And this is how you really feel about me. So I don't give people access like that. And then
so like who was trying, like, well, I ain't
once
gonna,
you
you ain't
show
got to
me
call no
who
names.
once you show me who you are, I'll leave you the hell alone. So, Shamar will have it easy over here because Shamar is, first of all, whether he's gay, straight, it doesn't really matter. Shamar came over here in a manner that was pretty cool. He kind of understood what was going on and the players. He didn't come over here cursing people out for folk, and I just hate to say it. Uh, Octavius, we had some
Mm-hmm.
missionaries to go over and get some food. And it's like, oh, okay, this is what we doing. We attacking the brothers over here. And I will say it until I can't say it no more. They thought it was cool when that was happening. They sat there and got a good key off of it. And then when them jokers turned on them, then they wanted the gay men to come and defend their honor. And I'm like hell I am. You didn't do shit when they was over here. I ain't gonna do shit for you. This is business. And so that's how I really felt about it. I
Oh, you
ain't
talking about the
bitter.
females that go out and get these guys?
Oh yeah,
That's what you talking about.
there's a
Oh,
purpose.
okay, yeah.
There's a purpose for it. And so some people peep game. And so I just look at folks, and I'm like, well, that's what y'all wanted. Y'all wanted them people over here, so here they are now. You were cool with them, and they were the best thing since sliced bread when they were, treating you decently. But now they calling you out of your name, and now you don't know how to handle it. So I just sit back and watch. So it is what it is.
Well, like I said, everybody ain't built for this. These Everybody ain't built for the internet. Like I had it hard. Like in the black sector, when I started doing a little bit of commentary,
Mhm.
like shit, everybody came at my ass. Shit, I
Mhm.
lost all my moderators and all that shit. I was like by myself and everything for a minute. But The thing about it is going through those hard times. It's like, okay, like I said, I really mean it. Everybody can be mad on the internet. I'm gonna sleep well. When it comes to Octavius, I'm gonna sleep
That's what
very
you
well,
have to
but
do.
everybody
But I,
can't deal with
but
that
I
pressure.
tell you, I just see stuff, and again, I observe things, and I see what people do. And my thing is, people were asking me, "Well, aren't you going to defend the women again?" I know, absolutely not. They the one who brought them over here, and nobody was defending us. They thought it was funny. So now it's happening to them, and so now they'll get over it, and they'll know what to do. So it ain't good, but I just see how people really move in the sector. And so, yeah, there's some people who don't come on my page, or I won't allow them on my page because, again, I don't need you. That's my thing. I'm not
Yeah.
looking to do that. I don't need you. I've been fine. I was good before you came. I'm gonna be good after you come, and that's what it is. Because one thing about these gay men, for the most part, most of them are funny and they got talent, and people come over here because they enjoy the entertainment. Yeah, they enjoy the entertainment. I can't speak for a lot of the gay men, but most of the brothers I know over here, they doing pretty well. They're doing what they need to do, and so I mean, I'll say that. But I see a lot of stuff going on, Octavius. But
Well,
overall,
what do
it's
you
all
think
good.
about this new age part of what? Because I've never seen this before. Pay to play in the B sector.
What you mean, pay to play?
You got content creators from other spaces
Mm-hmm.
that pay sometimes hundreds of dollars, or how much they pay, or how much they ever pay for, or however they pay for it. But they'll pay for redirects, shares, things like that.
That's what some people got to do. When you don't have talent, those are the things you have to do. Some people can just come on and say, "Hey, I'm getting ready to do occasion. Y'all need to come," and the people will come. Some people say, "Hey, y'all, I'm getting ready to do a banner competition," and people give. See how that works? When you got talent and when you know who you are, you don't have to do all that stuff. You don't have to pay. People will pay you because they see the value in your entertainment. But when you're not an
But okay,
entertainer,
but when
it is
you're
what it is.
doing that redirect, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're doing that redirect. So they'll say Octavius the outsider or whatever. Like they're trying to say I'm outsider and all that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Which is true in a sense, but it's being very intellectually dishonest in another sense because I've been doxxed over here. I've done content over here. I've had storylines that
I
people
mean,
ate off over
you're
here.
the only one.
That type.
You're not the only one who's been doxxed, right?
No, I
So
get that point, but I'm saying it's different when you went through all the things that you went through because people was overly interested in whatever you had going on. I ain't crying about it. You know what I'm saying?
you know what
But
though, Octavius?
what I will say is that when you got it where you got people like you say that don't have no talent, that's okay. Somebody paid me $100 or $50 to shift the crowd, shift 400 people. That's it. The subscribers from the beef sector to this non-talented nigga, and they over there just listen to him ramble or her ramble, and they ain't got no talent. Don't you think that bring down the quality of your sector?
Well, that's what people got to realize. But you know what? If people will tolerate it, and if the sector will tolerate it, then I guess that's what they'll get, Octavius. I'm not a fan of Lemon's entertainment. Sometimes I just turn it off. It was just really interesting today because I heard what you said. I'm like, oh no, that sounds a little off. But let me go on and check. But and I'm just saying that's why I was interested because it did deal with something that I am somewhat aware of. But I can't stop people from the entertainment that they like. If that's what they want, that's what they want. At the end of
No,
the
but
day,
I'm saying this part. Okay, if I had the B searcher coming to my chat in the hundreds, I
mhm,
had some shit going down.
mhm,
I had some real shit going down. But now you're incorporating these same people that were saying, I'm Octavius outside. But when you came to my shit, you got tea, you got drama, you got a whole bunch of shit, funny shit, me being a fat, whatever you took from it, you got something from it that was organic. But now you got it where these same people saying, "Oh well, these people, these are the same people getting cash apps to do a redirect forcing their crowd to go to these non-beef sector channels with these non-talented people, and then they wondering why it's killing the entertainment value.
Well, who is these entertaining people? These non-talented people.
I ain't trying to call no names about that. You already know.
I mean, now you know. I don't know who you talking about. You talking about Shakim?
Oh, I'm not talking about him. I'm not talking about him. I ain't mention nobody by name. But what I will say is that there's a new thing about redirect. It's a redirect. Okay. Right now, right now, you're not involved in it. But right now, they're redirecting shit to people, and it's forcing the subscribers to go to places that people ain't got no talent.
Is the redirect person old B sector, new B sector? What is it?
Like they be Cash App and Pizarro.
Interesting. Okay.
They be Cash. The same one was talking shit about me. You know what I mean? But they be Cash App and her to send it to some of these niggas from different sectors and shit that just came around in the last few months. Probably been here in less than a year.
Oh, interesting. To be honest, people will subscribe to what they like, and I don't know, Octavius. The only thing is, I have to be concerned about the platform over here and what I'm doing over here, because I've been here for a good minute now. You see people come and you see people go. And if you don't have talent, you can only do so much. And people are going to get tired and they'll go somewhere else. So my thing is, keep watching.
But Jay Wilson, I'm gonna tell you, I look on the thing. I'm subscribed to a lot of people in different sectors. Like just go back a year and a half ago. How many what you would call OG beef sector people or people that's 2018 and above, like they will all go, like there would at least be like 4 or 5 live streams going throughout the whole day from different people. Now they're shifted. They all moving the same crowd to this, from this person to that person to that person. And a lot of these people that are getting the crowd, they're paying to play. And me, myself, if I go to somebody that ain't got no talent, you know what I'm doing? I'm not watching. I'm going to go to another sector. And don't you think that it costs some of the same people from your sector, that's beef sector people, that's subscribers, that's what matters? They'll be like, this nigga ain't got no fucking talent. I'm going to go find some shit going in the Mo3 sector. Well, because I do it.
Well, somebody in the sector has talent. And regardless, you can be in a mall or you can be a standalone store. When you have quality merchandise, people are going to shop there regardless.
I'm saying you could devalue what you have by producing cheap import products.
People say that the sector was devalued when other people from other sectors came in.
Well, okay, but right now you got people. If I got $100, I could cash out somebody. And I'm gonna go live. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. Redirect me. I send it to the right person that I know they can get lit. I have me a cool 200 people in my chat, and I don't deserve the shit.
You know what?
I don't deserve it.
I understand what you're saying, but what is the sector gonna tolerate? And sometimes the sector tolerates it. And
no, like me, I last time I went live, I had 380 people in the chat. Ain't nobody hit the link but Octavius. You know what I mean? But like I said, they come from all over the internet. You know what I'm saying? But people be looking for certain people who got talent to come or whatever. So like when I do hear people bicker, that's content creators, about me, or they got whatever they're gonna say. You know what I know? I say, well, you know what? You more shit you talk about Octavius in the beef sector, I ain't even gotta go live. I'll gain tonight. I probably done gained about 20, 30 subs, and I ain't even been live. I know how the sector works. The subscribers want to be fucking this out. That nigga's an asshole. He's entertaining. I like him. That's what the subscribers, they want that type of shit. But a lot of people don't understand that.
Let me say this. They're only tolerated for so much.
Yeah.
because they did that, and now you may not see them that much now because
Mm.
people are only going to tolerate that but so much. So I always just tell people, you got to just be careful, and the people will tell you what they want. I just sit back and observe. Look at the people who've been here for a while. What do they do? Look at the people who been here for a good minute. What do they do? And
Yeah.
people come and go. Like I said, with the beef sector, it always used to make me laugh when people were the queen or the king of
Mm.
something, and all they have to do is be gone for 1 week, and people won't even remember. They'll say, "Well, where is this person?" And that's it, and they gone. I mean, yeah, it's a
Right.
lot of people who were very, very, very on their game, very popular in the sector, but they're no longer with us.
Well, you know what? Like I would say this now, and I don't think people like me saying it, but I knew what happened with Quanny Page and how like with Quanny didn't know about descriptions. I used to look at she ain't got no description. The AI, when you do that long form, she knows she never used StreamYard. So when you got that long form on through the YouTube app, if it see a black screen, you know what it's gonna do? It's gonna recommend people to not watch. She was doing that, and then her views drastically dropped when YouTube did that AI overhaul on the thing, because she was like everything was like what she was doing was perfect for the beef sector, but what she was doing as far as like I mean, YouTube ain't gonna send out no notifications. It don't know where to place you in the algorithm because you ain't got no description, you ain't got no tags, things like that. And I did speak on that, and I said, well, a lot of the older people may have not known they need to upgrade the things in YouTube Studio to keep them relevant, so that YouTube and the AI want to know what to do with you, because that AI will not recommend you if you ain't got nothing there nowadays, especially how she was doing with the black stream. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I was like, it wasn't even a lot of people fault that they lost a following or whatever. It was like the AI for a lot of older B sector people. I watched it. You know what I'm saying? I saw it. You know what I mean? And I say, well, I know what's happening, why their views dropped so bad. But it's because they not getting up to date with the technology.
Mhm. Yeah,
Because
I mean,
right now, when you do a live stream, they got Google Gemini on the phone, and it could give you a summary of what was talked about throughout the whole live stream. So everything's attached.
I get it,
Mm-hmm.
but again, it's technology. But you can have all the technology in the world, but if you don't have a good live, hey,
Yeah, but I don't think it wasn't fault. It wasn't some people's fault. It happened all over the internet. It wasn't some people's
Mhm.
fault. They just didn't. They didn't know YouTube was doing their own experiment, and they start like, okay, I'm not gonna recommend you because you ain't got nothing for me.
Mhm.
And they didn't care. They didn't really. They sent out a notification around that time, letting everybody know like you need to update your stuff, and then
Mhm.
you'll be pushed out. But if you don't do the right, like for me, it ain't all about I'm so entertaining, but I get a lot of views now because I know about the certain details of how to like set up a live stream to push me in the algorithm. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You got to learn that. But
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you up. But I ain't gonna hold you up.
All right. Well, look, I appreciate you coming over. And y'all,
All right.
this is Octavius. We appreciate Octavius coming on over. And y'all, I'm calling it a night because it's about 12 o'clock. So it's going to be 12 o'clock soon. And the brother got up for work, and I will be in Florida. So all my Florida folk, I will be in Florida. So I'm looking for tomorrow to be in the Sunshine State. I'm packing now. So that's why you're hearing all this noise. I'm actually putting stuff in this bag and packing and getting ready to go. So I will be doing my stream on Tuesday and Wednesday. Um, maybe majority Wednesday from Florida. So I look forward to seeing you all. And hey, y'all be blessed. I'm tired now, y'all. So I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and love.